Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe. Oh, it's so fun to have Alycia Wood on the show. Here she is.
She is such a shining star. She outshines Sean Hart every single time.
Probably can out-rap Sean Hart too, but we'll find that out someday.
He expects that from me. Yes.
Fully.
But I love him from the bottom of my heart or the heart of my bottom. I'm not sure.
Be careful how you say things, Rick.
But either way, it's good. All right. So Alycia, we love you and we appreciate you, and we love having you on the show. You always bring great stuff. You can follow her on Facebook. She's got a lot of amazing things to say about apologetics and stuff that's going on currently, which I really think you need to check out. Mm-hmm. And are you right now in the Got Questions conference, or is that done?
No, I'm not a part of that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have a conference coming up at the end of the week?
Well, so I have, actually Creation Music Festival. If any of you have ever heard of Creation Music Festival or been to Creation Music Festival, it's a huge music festival in Pennsylvania. And because we couldn't gather this year, they're doing like a 2-day Creation Music Fest event. And so we've actually have talks that we'll be doing Friday and Saturday that actually have been pre-recorded. So I actually do one on race and Christianity, dealing with all the stuff that's kind of happening now, and just raising that topic to the surface because it's something that has to be addressed and then it's on everybody's mind. So definitely feel free to tune into that this weekend, Friday and Saturday.
And you said those are pre-recorded now. Was it just recently pre-recorded? So it's very recent events?
That's a great question, because it was pre-recorded, they originally wanted, the original due date was like June 2nd or 3rd. And I actually messaged them and said, look, there's a lot going on right now with the George Floyd killing. It just happened. And so I said, can I wait a few weeks so that I can be more current? And they said, absolutely. So I actually waited a bit. So it's kind of done about mid-June, but it's still, I think the information is still relevant.
Awesome.
You are such a powerful, eloquent speaker. You've got so much material now. How does someone like you take all that stuff and hone it in, because you only have so much time, right? Are you going to have question and answers? Are you going to do a 30-minute speak? How are you going to do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, especially with this topic, it was really, really hard because you're not just dealing with current events, but I also wanted to go back and give some background as to some of American history and things that are going on that have led people to kind of see through that lens. We see and perceive through the lens of even our own history. The stories shared around the dinner table are going to affect how we process through and understand what's happening around us. So you got a little bit of that. I go a little bit into the Christian background and where Christianity's gotten it wrong a bit. And then you're talking about the Bible and what about the slavery stuff and what about different things like that. So it was really hard to compact it. And it's definitely a mini version of a much longer talk that I'm working on. That's going to be about 4 different segments because I can't even fit in one normal length talk.
Yeah.
So
wow.
It's a mini version of the longer.
Yeah. Well, that would be great to see. Now, how can people see the Creation Festival stuff?
Yeah, so Creation Festival has a Facebook page. So I would say check out their Facebook page,
Okay.
Creation Music Festivals, and they will have, I don't know the exact start time of it on Friday and Saturday, but definitely feel free to check that out and they'll be able to update. And I will post on my Twitter, Alycia Wood 88, and my Facebook, which is Alycia Wood 88. I will post on both of those as well, so that people can kind of keep in tune that way.
Cool. I would love to see it.
Yeah. Alycia Wood, of course, a part of ours, I Am Ravi Zacharias International Ministry. Dan and I spoke to Sean about this a couple of weeks ago. Has it been 3 weeks, 4 weeks? The memorial for Ravi. I turned it on and I watched it. I didn't realize it was going to be so long, but I couldn't leave it. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It convicted me. It inspired me. In fact, my wife, I didn't realize it. I was watching it here in the studio. She was watching it back there where she's working. She's working tech. She works for a tech company. It's War Games. And she watched it twice because so much stuff was said. It was mind blowing. How did that affect you, that whole thing?
Oh boy. I mean, I think just the last few months in general have been just shocking. I think there's a sense in which a lot of people from the team are just shunned. Like, how do we get here? Like, in February in Miami, Ravi, Abdu Murray, Nathan Rittenhouse, me, those are several speakers, Abdu, Nathan Rittenhouse, we were at an event where Ravi and Abdu were speaking in Miami. None of us knew that was going to be his last event ever. And then, fast forward about a month and COVID hits and we kind of shut down the office. So we all, we leave the office. Little do we know that, when we left the office that day, we would come back in and he'd be gone. And I think there's a sense in which it was all so quick and so sudden. And so I think there's a sense in which the memorial for me was helpful to kind of bring like a bit of not closure, but like, this is happening. This is a bit of reality, because all this was also happening distancing, COVID and all these things that you're getting updates via email and messages. And you're just like, oh my, so nothing is really in person, so it's a whole different way to deal with this time of life.
Yeah.
Over Zoom calls and things like that. And so I think the memorial for me was just kind of like you felt like you were back kind of with him in a sense, because there was pictures and video and his voice. That's the thing I'll miss the most, is his voice. I loved his voice, that Indian accent, that grandpa figure. And so, I think the memorial kind of helped say, okay, this has happened. Let's celebrate him where he is. And now let's move forward from where we are here.
Is there a time that you shared with Ravi that just really sticks out in your mind as this is just a sweet, sweet memory that I'll always have with him?
Yeah, it's crazy because I didn't know it then, but my last conversation with Ravi was in December at our Christmas party. And I actually don't travel much in December. That's kind of my month off, unless there's something that really is important. And there were these two events that came up early in December that were really, really important. And so I ended up, going to them. Well, I guess one of the people that helped run the events, or both events, actually got the message, got back to Ravi, and they just kind of said, we just loved having her, and it was so well, and we were really amazed. And so I didn't know any of this, but I saw him at our Christmas gathering, and he was like, Alycia, I heard from these guys, and they just said that they really appreciate you, and I just, well done, like, I'm proud of you, like, good job. And that was something that we hadn't had that kind of interaction before, not because he thought I was a horrible speaker, but because, I'm traveling over here, I'm speaking here, Sean's speaking here, Abdu's here, Ravi's here, we're in all different places as a speaking team. We're not always together. And just to hear him say, he put his hand on his shoulder, I'm proud of you, great job, and that was actually the last conversation I had with him. And so it's just, I think that will stick with me. Like, I think I'm just so grateful that I had that opportunity with him. We were supposed to go to Africa about 2 weeks ago, in the beginning of June, for a week. And that was going to be a big trip for us and the team. And so that didn't happen. And that would have been another opportunity to do ministry together. So I think that will really stick with me, that I was just grateful for.
I can't remember her name. She's the new press secretary for President Trump, but I don't know if you saw the clip. Yeah. She actually had a press a meeting with the press, and she included the passing of Ravi. And she said, I mean, it was unbelievable. She spent a lot of time saying what she said. It was powerful. It was quick. And then she bumped on. But wow.
Kaylee, I believe is her name.
Right.
Yeah.
That blew me away. I couldn't believe it at the press conference when she actually said, in addition, before 200 questions, Ravi Zacharias passed away. And I was just like, what? Like, wow.
Yeah. Well, I know when we were watching, there were so many great speakers. The family, of course, the ones that made me cry. The young man, I can't remember his name, that traveled with Ravi all the time. The funny guy, he made me laugh. His brother made me laugh. Ravi's brother made me laugh at what he said. But when the vice president got up there and he brought it, I'm like, my gracious. I mean, you could have just blown on me and I was done. I mean, it was over. Alycia Wood here, RZIM. Okay, so you're doing what you're doing and you do it so well. Let's look at the fall. I know we're not sure. Are you going to be speaking in full crowds, quarter crowds, half crowds? I know you're missing people, no doubt, with your message, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been fairly busy. I think I did 4 events in 2 days last week. But the funny part is 2 of them were pre-recorded. So I was actually 2 places in one time. COVID made it possible for me to be 2 places at one time. I was doing one live while the other one recorded was playing for another event. Yeah, I mean, we've been busy speaking and still doing what we do. which is great. But, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with the fall. You know, right now, all of our events are pretty much online with Zoom, but you lose so much. Like one of my favorite things with any event is the Q&A time. And then also I get to talk to people one-on-one afterwards. I don't get to do that. It's just very different. And then people are just kind of almost like sitting and watching you, but you don't have that engagement that you usually do one-on-one with a person. But I think this is just kind of the world we live in right now. And, you know, we'll do our best to make do. And so I don't know what the fall will hold for sure, but we'll have to see.
And what about the college conference that you guys normally have in August that we come to? How is that gonna be able to happen?
Yes, a refresh. That's a great question. Yeah, so refresh is still gonna happen. If I was a better speaker, I would actually know the dates offhand. I'm not. So I think the actual dates are. I have to look them up.
Sorry,
so
you can cheat. That's good.
Yeah. If they go to our website, they can look them up. But we're still going to do it. It's going to be from 1 to 4. And so it'll be online. It'll be Zoom, I think, or whatever platform we use. And so that will still happen, just not like the obviously interaction kind of thing that we have. So.
Cool. Okay.
You know, if we were better talk show hosts, we'd have had that information.
We would have known too. So
we could have passed that on to you. But no, look how bad we are.
Yeah.
Alycia Wood, she's amazing. We love her to pieces. RZIM.org is the place to go to find out more about her and of course, the ministry that's just doing so much for this generation and the generations to come with apologetics. I love what you said about apologetics. And it is so deep that even a talk show host can kind of grasp what you're saying. I'm a Christian apologist because no one should believe anything blindly. God does not demand uninformed acceptance of him. Wow. You are amazing, girl.
Yes, you are.
We'd love to catch up with you pretty soon, a couple of months, and we'll see what's going on. We're just going to flick Sean Hart, forget him. Okay.
Can I just give a quick thank you to the local Atlanta listeners, if any of you are out there, that were part of the people that left flowers at our sign on the day that Ravi passed. It was actually really sweet. I drove past there and I saw these flowers outside of our RZM sign, outside of our office. And I just want to know, those of you that are out there that did that, just thank you. That was so touching. I just felt like it made us just come together as a community, even though we may not have met, just more together. And I just really felt like united with those who Ravi had impacted by seeing your flowers. So just thank you for those of you who took the time to do that. You kind of entered into the grief and the processing with us. And so thank you so much. It really touched me.
Wow.
Alycia Wood, RZIM.org. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live. Thank you, Alycia.